Adults have read it. What is something every teenager needs to know? It's okay to say no to anyone. It's exactly as lame to not do something you want to do because it's too mainstream or popular as it is to do something only because it's cool and the cool kids are doing it. Learn a second language. It's good for your brain. And it's a lot easier when you're young. Get active and fit. Make it a habit. This is one of the most important ways to stave off cognitive decline as you get older. Plus, it's great for managing mental health during the transition to adulthood. Start trying to save money now. You'll definitely thank yourself later on. The measure of whether someone has the potential to be a new friend of yours is not whether they like a bunch of things you like. It is entirely possible to become friends with people who like a ton of things you've never heard of, or even already decided you dislike. You are at a spot in life where a lot of your likes and dislikes are subject to change anyway. Biggest thing. Making a new friend often takes time. Lots of time. Much longer than movies and shows make it look like. Find things to do. Groups to join. City league sports to play, pandemic permitting. Or after, and keep learning about the people you see repeatedly. Far too many early 20s people who report having no friends made a premature judgment that one or more prospective friends were off the list. And it just needed a lot more time. Failing is okay. Get a marketable skill. Unskilled labor sucks. You need something that's going to pay you. It doesn't have to be your life's passion. Contrary to what my peers were saying at that age. But you do need to be able to tolerate it. When you make a mistake, own up to it. People are more willing to help you when you admit you did a dumb thing. This goes for school, work, and personal life. Forget to make a payment on a loan? Call and talk to the finance company. Mess something up on a school project? Tell your teacher and ask for a bit of leeway, etc. People will be more likely to help you if you communicate. Start your retirement fund as early as possible. Doesn't matter if you can only afford $5 a week. It's still $5 more than you would have had otherwise. It will add up and you'll thank yourself later. Cashiers don't care if you buy condoms. If you don't have a passion, learn new skills. You might find your passion or something you're good at. When you get to driving, you need to realize that the laws of physics apply to you. They aren't out to get you. They're just indifferent. Slow that down and don't horse around. You're driving a very heavy machine at speeds we did not evolve to deal with. Be safe. Don't put off dealing with mental health issues. Developing unhealthy coping mechanisms for emotional issues will you up big time down the road. If you have issues, deal with it head on. Right away. It can take time. But start the work now. Also, save for retirement. You should open a Roth IRA yesterday. If you are assaulted on campus, notify the police. Not campus security. Learn to trust your gut when in strange situations. If something feels off wrong, it probably is. Don't go along with something if it feels wrong. While you shouldn't believe those who say these gonna be the best years of your life, try to make the most of it. To enjoy the ride. Don't be ashamed of your hobbies and passions. Those who make fun of that can go themselves. Every feeling you have deserves to be expressed in any constructive manner. Don't fear rejection from those you like love. Tell them and come what may. How to de-escalate difficult situations. And how to disagree with a teacher, someone in authority, without sounding like a know-it-all or in a condescending manner. For example, if a teacher says X and you are certain you learned differently, recognize that there may be certain circumstances that you may not realize that changes something. Lead the disagreement with a saying like, "Excuse me, I may be wrong, but I thought learned why." This kind of phrasing does not cause the other person to be on the defensive, which can allow gentle new instruction for you, or a graceful face-saving correction for the teacher. A situation with differing opinions doesn't have to be confrontational. I graduated 10 years ago from high school and none of those people are in my life now. So take your time being you and grow your self-esteem and talents now over wasting time trying to impress those pricks you won't even remember in a few months after graduation. Edit. It seems like there is some confusion as to my advice. I am not saying drop your friends. Those are a very important aspect of life, especially in high school. What I am saying is drop the politics and drama of your school. I know it feels like it is the whole world now. But if you let those who try to bring you down, who mock you, who try and pressure you will not be around forever. Worry about building yourself to being the best you that you can become. I still have contact with a few childhood friends to this day, just not really any I made in high school. But all those negative, drama craving, bullies, and those downbeats in general will not follow you. I've said this before but it's important. When someone says you can't do something in life, it means they can't do it. Not that you can't. Hold yourself to your own standards. If you wouldn't let anyone treat your friend's family like trash, then don't do it yourself. If you feel learning is a positive thing, then learn on the daily. If you value work and security, then give yourself security through work. If you expect others to be intelligent and to care, then you should be intelligent and caring. Hold yourself accountable for how you want the world to be. Be a part of the world you want to live in. Edit. Whoa. This stratospherically launched my internet points. Thank you very much everybody. That feels very nice. I wish you all a great week. Honestly, your teens are the perfect time to begin small on creating good habits that pay off big in the long run. 1. Save and or invest 10% of any money you receive. 2. Create a habit of exercising, even just small exercises, every day. 3. Someone else said it, but it is worth repeating. Brush your teeth. 4. Figure out what you enjoy. Read and try a lot of different things. Go to camps. Or shadow any jobs you think you might be interested in. Sometimes the job you think you'd enjoy, you find out you have no interest in at all. This will save you a lot of money, like studying pre-med and learning you hate healthcare. 5. This is a difficult one as a teen. But try to establish a decent sleeping habit. Preferably one where you wake up early. I feel like I slept my teen years away. Edit. On number 5 I meant going to bed earlier and waking up earlier. Not sleeping less. I realize teens need more sleep. Edit 2. Guys, I don't have all the answers. Those were just what came to my head at the moment. Feel free to add additional numbers. People, employers, etc. will take advantage of your need. In many cases this will be illegal. Advice is free. And if you respond to it with I know then you're probably not gonna figure your problem out. The person you love at the 17th of May not be the person you love at 30. You change. They change. Learn how to cook. It's way cheaper and usually faster than takeout. Most of your friends are the product of geographic convenience. Just because you grew up being friends with a neighbor or a fellow student doesn't mean you owe them your undying loyalty when they start treating you like. Learn the signs and signals of toxic relationships. All too often these can start as early as high school and before you know it you've wasted years of your life being someone's victim. There's always more to it. Right now isn't the be all and end all. Edit. Well, we thank you for the awards, kind strangers. I will also say that by no means as a teen should your feelings be downplayed, and this is not suggesting that your current issues are minimal. It's important to recognize how you're feeling, but also don't let it consume or dictate how you look towards your future. There is always going to be a better time. To those who reached out to me, keep pushing on. You deserve so much better. We'll get better and have exciting things ahead. Good music will help you in life. We know all the tricks. Sometimes I hear friends saying if I do this trick, my mom would never know, dude. Every teenager should be taught proper sex ed. How to prevent pregnancy and STIs. They should also do a better job of explaining the differences between real sex and PRN. Though honestly there are some great instructional videos on PRN Hub out there. Edit. And adding consent explicitly. Compound interest. It's never too early to start saving for retirement. The first step to being good at something is being bad at something. You're allowed to question authority. If an authority says something you think is wrong, you're allowed to question that. Take a personal finance class. Twitter, or any social media, is a loaded gun. It's there forever. Even if you delete it. There are people in bad situations. This is sad. But not all of them want to be saved from it. We, your parents, are harsh because we want you to make better choices than we did. The wisest of us, though, will let you make mistakes and fail to a smaller degree. Cause we know you don't listen. Close bracket. Edit. Some parents truly are assholes. My advice isn't universal in this case. Sorry for any confusion. Check out our ACED narcissists to see if yours qualifies. People tell you these are the best years of your life. That's bull. Just because you have fewer responsibilities in their eyes doesn't mean your problems are invalid. It was especially hurtful for me to hear that when I was going through depression in high school. I was already at rock bottom. But if it's all downhill from here, what's the friggin' point? Very late to this thread. But remember that sometimes even well-meaning advice from very wise people can be out of date. When I was a teen, conventional wisdom was to buy a house instead of rent as soon as you could. And buy all the house you can afford. And this was because for my parents, my grandparents, for most people in the country for as long as anybody could remember, home values almost always went up over time. Especially in the long run. It would be the biggest transaction you'd ever make. And probably your best investment. And it was only going to get more expensive. And then there was a housing crash. And the housing market got why. And guess who wound up moving and taking a mid-5-figure loss on a lovely house when he moved out of state? This guy right here. On the plus side, a nice young family got a lovely 1,800 square foot home in a nice, safe neighborhood for a very reasonable price. There will be changes in the RL meter. The advice you get about careers, finances, etc. might wind up invalid as the world changes. Taking stealthy snaps of people without their knowledge to send to your friends to make fun of them actually isn't funny or cool, it's cringy and you're an asshole. You're not the first person in the world to be a teenager. And feeling like no one understands you or what it's like. We've all been there. Things can and do get better. No one really cares or remembers the petty that happened in high school. Do not base your life and personality around social media. And the farad that you are trying to create. Live your life in reality. Learn that the world will usually not lend you a hand. So you have to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. Resilience. Tenacity. And will. Learn to budget. Do not go into debt over stupid saying you will pay it off later. Do not decide your major or your life choices on what will make your family happy. Rather, what makes you happy. Try to enjoy the freedom of not having any bills. Not having any major responsibilities. Avoid debt if possible. Never trust a junkie. Save money. Now. Adulting is way more expensive than you can ever imagine. Start a fitness plan habits when you're young. You won't have that metabolism forever. Don't get in the habit of drinking alcohol. It may end up running and ruining your life. If you don't have a passion yet, don't sweat it and don't think you have to go to college straight away. Get an apartment to share with friends and job hop until you figure out what you're good at, enjoy doing. Then consider college for that specific area. Everyone is smart. Just at different things. People can be book smart or people smart or machine smart, etc. But the difference between successful people and not so much is the application and dedication you give. My nephew is 9 and his dad is already calling him dumb. Which is insane because that kid is so quick. He understands things rapidly. But he doesn't like school right now. If you don't brush your teeth. Big regrets. Don't talk too much about yourself and your private life and ideas. It will be used against you. Emotionally you are going to feel better and survive the struggles you are into. Don't breed anger. It will consume your time and energies. Time flies. I'm 38 years old. It seems yesterday I was in my 20s. Enjoy the ride. Take care of your body. Don't listen too much to the wired stuff coming from your mind. Do not take naughty pictures or record videos. Edit. The irony of the username is hilarious. But the more important thing that nobody mentioned so far is that there is absolutely no need for people to judge you based on your teenage SZUL activity. Ignore SZULized media the best you can and don't measure yourself based on the size of your naughty bits or how open to sex you are. The OnlyFans edgeral life sounds intoxicating. But is absolutely draining since you're nothing more than an object to your supporters. PM me your tits PLZ. It's hard to make new, meaningful friendships as an adult. So don't take the good friendships you have for granted. Life moves very quickly after leaving school. Years go by so quickly. Edit. Just wanted to say. Holy crap. 20k upvotes. I've never had more than 100 before, so thank you. A lot of people have been saying this scares them. Please don't be scared. Adult life is great, but you just have to keep yourself active and doing different things. Just make sure to appreciate everything you have and try not to have regrets. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need to know everything. Hell. It's more important to know enough about what you don't know. So you don't say something embarrassing or stupid and you can try to sway the conversation or argument toward what you do know. Fake it till you make it. Always keep your eyes and ears open. Learn lots of little useless facts. They can make you sound extra smart. Without any effort. Sometimes it's best to keep your mouth shut and your ears open. Don't dig in if a conversation isn't going your way. Lay back. Shut the hell up. To quote Mark Twain, it's better for a person to think you're an idiot even if you haven't said anything than it is for you to open your mouth and prove them right. Oh. And never take the brown acid. And most importantly, kids. We'll quote the late, great Timothy Leary, think for yourself and question everything. Don't be afraid to fail at things. Just getting into my 30s and I am finding the new generation seems to be afraid of being bad at something to the point of not trying new things. Go and try. Obviously there are things to be cautious about. But take reasonable risks on things like moving, jobs, work, hobbies, etc. It really doesn't matter what others think of you. It only matters what you think of yourself. Live your life such that you can look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and be proud of what you've done. Also, likes from social media don't mean a thing. If you post something that gets 0 likes or upvotes, you will still wake up tomorrow ready to go. Enjoy the small stuff like your back not hurting. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Appreciate what you have. Especially if you don't have much. There might come a time when your mattress on the floor and the clothes on your back are the only things you have. And you might not care at the moment. But they're still yours. Appreciate them. Appreciate good times. Days with nice weather. Try to get as much joy as you can from those things. Because if you don't, you won't get any from elsewhere and no one can give it to you. Later you might look back and regret spending years of your life bitterly, emotionally fixated on negative things. Wasting your time with reading too much news or focusing on that won't take you forward in life. TL. DR. Appreciate everything around you. Make the most of it now, rather than later. Do not be afraid to ask out that girl guy that you like. If you suffer from anxiety like myself, then at least try to work on it. I personally went through all my teenage years without even trying to talk to girls much at all, and now that I'm 19 and have the chance to look back, I 100% regret it. Me. A teenager. Understand how much more you will understand in the future, and don't be ashamed to admit that you may not understand things. Don't get married too early. Like, wait until 30 at least. Even if you think the person you're with is the one. I got married at 22 and have been unhappy as hell since. The first part of your advice is great. Waiting until some ambiguous age isn't necessarily. What exactly are you waiting for? What happens at 30? Reddit is a hive of left-wing censorship and groupthink. That socialism doesn't work. There's more to life than smoking weed and cigarettes. You don't need to go to university college to get a good job. True. But statistically it helps a lot. Communism is a dangerous ideology. And be careful who you give your heart to. Take time and get to know and appreciate and be appreciated by the person you want to spend your life with. Adulthood is both an age and a mindset. Though you are legally responsible for yourself at 18. Most people don't really get it until about 5+ years later. That said, some adults never mentally leave high school. Gossip still happens. Bragging still happens. Self-righteousness still happens. Some people grow up. Some don't. The mantra 30 is the new 20 is taking it really far, but even though that's extreme, the basic idea is important to appreciate. You have to keep busy of course, but you don't have to dive into anything that serious right out of high school. Give it 2 years at least. This isn't just because you get to enjoy procrastinating. It's because you're a teenager. And you're still stupid. You should wait to become less stupid so that you're in a better spot to make decisions. Travel to other countries. Don't worry about material possessions. I think the statistic is 40% of people don't leave their hometown. The world is massive and amazing. Everyone says to be a doctor or lawyer. Just do what makes you happy. Money can't be the end game. Experiences need to be. Treat sugar like you would drugs. BC it is 1. Enjoy in moderation and don't drink it every day. Your teeth and skin, will thank you. Wear sunscreen every day. I'm 30 but people always assume I'm way younger. BC my skin isn't damaged. Sunscreen, sunglasses and covering up will make you age like wine. Don't buy new cars. Yeah, they're fun and smell nice. But the depreciation the minute you drive it home, as well as increased insurance, interest and taxes, don't make it a viable financial decision. Also, any trade-ins will be undervalued by a lot. If your car is still running decent shape, selling it private party on Craigslist is better than taking a small trade-in value at a dealership. Best real life example I have of this is I tried to trade in a van in great shape and the dealership offered me $2,500. Even though I owed over $7k. I listed it on CL and sold it for $9k. So never take offers from dealerships. They're garbage. It gets better. Take up an instrument. As a teenager you have far more time on your hands than you ever will again. Plus your brain is still plastic enough to learn things easily and quickly, relative to a fully formed brain. You still need to put the hours in. Being able to play music is such a joy that you will carry with you your whole life. And you can often form relationships off the back of it, jamming sessions. For egg. Or just bonding over your love of guitars. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. You may just end up going hungry. Learn how to eat PSSY. No. You probably don't know better than your parents. Absolutely do not follow your passion when it comes to a career. Get started in something that sounds alright. Get good at it. Then you may find you actually enjoy it because you're good at. And then you'll find an adjacent job that you like better. Do not be afraid to job hop. Studies show that people who switch careers more frequently are happier in the long term. Plus, Having a diverse work history makes you more well-rounded and better at solving problems than someone who specialized in one role their entire life. You'd have a slower start, but then would outpace and outperform the specialist later. You're responsible for your own education and have absolutely no one to blame if you don't take school seriously. And be nice to your teachers. They're trying to gift you a future. Always use condoms. Take care of your mental health. Start saving now. Get a good exercise routine down. If you're feeling bad about something, like HS drama, remember, everything that's going on now will be irrelevant within 5 years. Don't expect anyone to hold your hand in the adult world. Guess I'll die yes. Yeah. Don't expect anyone to hold your hand. But also don't be afraid to ask for help. Focus on your education now. It is 100 times harder to improve yourself when you need to work to survive. Consent. Enjoy your youth. We also have no idea what we're doing. We just fake it better. Everyone is not looking at you and noticing all your self-envisioned flaws all the time. They are all worrying about themselves. Take a deep breath and smile. Your new shoes or haircut or jeans look great. Don't forget to slow down and appreciate being young. People are always going to try to make you grow up faster. But you have your whole life for that. You're only young for a short time. So go ahead. Learn to twerk. Dye your hair red. Rent that cute hipster apartment. Go backpacking when there's no pandemic. Enjoy being young. Studying and working hard makes you an expert. Reading Facebook and Instagram stories doesn't. Neither are opinions facts. Don't immediately jump into college or start a career immediately. Take time to think about it, year off sort of deal, because you may love a field from afar but things change and you don't want to be stuck for life. You are not ugly or fat. Trust me. I thought this all through my teens. I was called fat when I was 10 years old and thought that if they'd said it, it must be true. I look back at pictures of myself and I most definitely wasn't fat. I was just taller than the other girls. But that stuck in my mind and I actually put weight on because I thought that fat was what I was. Therefore, I eat. Now I wish I was as fat as I was in my teens.